someplace. So this is having sort of a source of fresh vegetables is a really valuable thing here. And just because we're standing here, I'll point out. This is basically bits of Illinois, Iowa, Missouri. This is bits of everything which has come from the rest of the middle and eastern part of the United States, come down the Mississippi, and over hundreds, thousands of years have been deposited here. And it's a mixture of organic material and also all the fine, silty clay stuff. So the river picks up all this material and it's trucking down. You see, when we went on the ferry, you can see how fast that river is going. It's carrying everything. It's probably giant logs, bits of cars are probably in there, all sorts of stuff is in there, right? It's shooting out toward the Mississippi. Historically, when we still had the distributary, when it still was a really functioning delta, that water would spill out here and then slow down. And as it slowed down, it started, all that stuff which is in it started to drop out. The heaviest stuff first, right? Things like the cars, bits of houses, the logs, right? And then the sand, and then finally all the very, very fine silt and clay particles. And that's this stuff right here. And if you play with it, you can make, it's basically like clay. You can make a pot out of it. It's sort of dry now, but you can make little clay balls out of it. And if you leave this out in the sun, you can make a adobe oven of it or something. It'd be really cool.
We've been putting organic stuff in it for years and years and years, right?
Yeah. So this is probably some of the best soil in the world. In fact, all the one reason why we've sort of colonized rivers and riverbanks and deltas forever is because this is great farm soil. It has one kind of fatal flaw. So it has lots of nutrients in it. It has a real ability to hold on to water. It's high water holding capacity, which is what you want when you're trying to grow a plant. But there's one sort of critical flaw, which is that I can do this to it. I can smush it down. But if you can till it, so break it up, and add organic matter, so get that piece of organic matter, like a very small chunk of leaf. You got all these clay particles that are laying down like this. You stick that clay bit into it, and now you break up those clay particles. Now you have a space that water can sit, and a root tip can go through.
And oxygen.
And oxygen. And all of a sudden you take what originally was a clay plot into something, one of the most productive farm soils in the world. So it's really great. So one reason why the citrus industry was down here was so good. So we always have a fun time digging up this soil. Unfortunately, we won't have a fun time today. So one year we were down here, it poured like a mofo. It was awesome. It was like, thunder, lightning, drenching soil, rain coming down there, and this was a giant mud pit. And we were like, well, we have one day. We're gonna do it anyway. So
yeah, we did.
And I was dubious that it was actually going to work, because one of the garden's sort of cardinal sins of, so this is about the perfect amount of soil moisture that you want, because it's just enough that I can get in there and I can do this to it. And sort of the ideal consistency is sort of like if you took a piece of chocolate cake, right, and you crumbled up that piece of chocolate cake, and it starts to look like that, right? But if it's right out of the oven and you try and do that, you just get that kind of ball. It's sort of same thing. If you try and work this when it's too wet, it turns into like little bits of pot, right? So I was convinced that was going to happen and the garden was going to fail. And so when we came back next year, I asked, so what happened, Carol? Did anything grow? It's like, oh yeah, I got like 10 bushels of tomatoes and cucumbers, and so lots of things like to grow down here. This is a nice habitat for plants.
What's the growing season here? I mean, does it ever stop?
364 days out of the year.
I think it stops for tomatoes. Like, so this is where I come from. There's still, like, the time to plant your tomatoes is basically like July 1st. But this is the time to plant tomatoes here because it's nice and it's not super hot. And by the end of the year, you plant like a little teeny tomato like this, and it's about this big, and there's tons of tomatoes on it.